guys, thank you for joining me again tonight. This video is going to be a recommendation of stones that you might want to try out or play with when you first start working with stones or crystals and whatnot. So I'm just going to jump right into it. These are some of the variations of stones that I used when I first started getting into it, and I feel like they were great building blocks or a great place to start for me. When you're getting into crystals and stuff, there's just so much out there, like you can get lost. So, and you don't want to just go buy a whole bunch of stuff, like you want to see what feels good or start to feel energy or just in general like work your way up to certain stuff. So the first one I'm going to recommend is clear quartz. This is a point, a pretty chunky point. They come in a myriad of shapes and sizes, smooth, tumbled, raw, chunky pieces, all different stuff. Lots of jewelry you'll see with quartz points or quartz shapes. Quartz is they call it a master healer. And what that means is it's just good for a whole lot of stuff. It can be used, it's an energy amplifier, transmuter, director. It's a very powerful stone. It also has usually clear quartz will have a lot of rainbows in them, and that represents all color. So they kind of, even though they're, colorless, they represent all colors when we're talking about chakras or color therapy or anything like that. Now, clear quartz is very programmable, which means that all you have to do is hold it in your hand and intend for what you want the stone to be used for. So that could be protection, that could be to bring joy to your day, unconditional love, patience, to open your third eye, to connect you with spirit, whatever you choose. Like they're very programmable. It's really interesting. Try to get some noises for you. I love the sounds of the stones together. What I really love about clear quartz and what I use it for a lot of the time, if I don't have the right stone, like I'm like, oh, I didn't bring this with me. If I have my clear quartz, I can ask it to behave like whatever stone that I'm missing. So if I wanted it to be a let's just say covalite or something, I can ask for them to behave that way. But very general, like it's okay to be general when you're requesting things, because there's an infinite knowledge that exists, and we do not have infinite knowledge in our conscious mind by all means, or by any means rather. So for us to just trust that the universe or whatever the infinite knowledge is make the right call for us, like it's good to kind of pass it on, delegate a little. What I really recommend if you do end up getting clear quartz points is to get 2. They're really not terribly expensive or anything. These are wonderful to use during meditation. Now this could be, it's a little big, but this could be on your third eye, this could be above your crown. You can use this on any one of your chakras. I also like to point one going in and one going out, which will direct the flow of energy more easily for me. So when I'm meditating or I'm just settling myself down or anything like that, I visualize this like fresh energy flowing through my body and all the negativity and stale energy like going out, and I can just sit for a few minutes and visualize this, and I will feel much better. Oh, another thing to be said about all of these stones, or all stones that you get ever in any way, I talk a lot about color and the chakras, and a good rule of thumb, like a very easy and safe way to choose a stone that would be appropriate for a chakra, is to use the color system. So, violet, indigo, blue, green and pink, yellow, orange and red, or black. Now, that's great, but if you're doing this at home and you're just kind of like vibing and like learning about energy and just seeing how things make you feel, the best thing to do, let me start for a little bit back. I use these to meditate. That's what I particularly started using them for when I was getting into crystals, and I highly recommend meditating with your stones. See if it changes anything for you. So what I would do is kind of recline and grid the stones along my body, just naturally, however I felt like they would be comfortable. So what you can do is take your stone, like this is another smaller clear quartz point, hold it above your head, and slowly drag it down until you feel like through your auric field, not terribly far, not super close to your head, or whatever's the most comfortable for you, really, it's your call. Just kind of like drag it down and see where it wants to go. So, you know, you might feel like a tingling by your throat, or just like a sensation, almost like a magnetism, would be the more appropriate word for that, I guess. And you'll just know like where the stone wants to lay. So like, let's say it's your throat, and then you can leave it there and maybe go along with any other stones that you have and see where they want to sit. And the second stone that I would recommend for anyone, and this is particularly a very good one for children, is rose quartz. Now these are some pale pink raw chunks. Rose quartz is the stone of love, empathy, patience, unconditional love, non-judgment, a myriad of really sweet and loving, soothing, supportive, non-negativity qualities. Soothing. It also has for me, very physically soothing properties, such as when I have a headache or like a pain in my body or cramps or something like that. Rose quartz is, you know, it's not like Advil, like no, it's not going to knock everything out, but I do definitely feel some relief, and I feel the difference from it, so. Very lovely, very calming and soothing. It's pretty hard to go wrong with that guy or gal. Citrine would be the next one I would recommend. This is a little sparkly, kind of druzy-ish cluster. And this again comes in tumbled pieces, in points, in clustery kind of shapes. So citrine is a very solar energy, high energy, definitely great for the solar plexus, but also for other chakras as well. It removes negativity. It doesn't hold on to negativity or bad energy. It never needs cleaning. I mean, I clean them anyway just to show them that I care. Here's like a larger point. Excuse me. So why I'm always coughing is I have asthma and my lungs get a little funky from time to time. If you're always wondering what's going on with me. So here's a kind of larger point. And here is a small natural point. You can see the difference. These can come very dark, they can come very pale. There is a process. Citrine is originally amethyst, so it originally looks like this in the ground when it's first created, and then the earth will, temperature changes, it heats up and it turns into citrine. So citrine is much more rare than amethyst. So when they're collecting amethyst, sometimes they will heat it to produce citrine, and I'm totally okay with that. I would not be okay with dyed stones. Like, I'm not really a big fan of dyed stones. Maybe like crackle quartzes and stuff, like I get into that more, but I'm not really a huge fan of that. or at least I wouldn't call it citrine then. I would just call it whatever it was, but dyed. Here's Amethyst. This is the fourth one I would recommend. This is another powerhouse. It has a really large amount of benefits for as far as sleep aid. It's connects you to spirit. It puts you in a more just in touch with the universe in a sense. Opened your mind a little, if you will. Maybe you haven't let you have a few thoughts you might not have had before, or something along those lines. It's great for your third eye, your crown, but again, also for your entire body. I believe amethyst, the word, comes from, oh goodness, the Greek or Latin word for drunkenness or something like that, because it's a sobriety stone. It actually normalizes things and stabilizes things, so if you have had too many drinks, you don't feel as drunk. Please don't like use that information and be like, oh, like I can drive. That's not what I mean. But if you don't really feel so good, it can be a good one to hold if you're like, you know, like at home and have had too many drinks or something. I don't know, something like that. So here's a little point of amethyst to show you that they're not always perfectly purple. They can have other kind of tones and still be amethyst, though purple is what you see the most. Here's an interesting tumbled piece of amethyst. I believe this was banded amethyst, or yeah, I'm pretty sure banded amethyst. So it has some like white milky quartz attached to it. And this has been tumbled. So it's very smooth. And when you're first getting into stones too, like go ahead and just buy like small tumbled pieces and work with them. There's no rule that says like they have to be super big or small or anything like that. Just something that you can sense the energy on, for you to play with and work with and see how you feel. This amethyst is a little special. This is a Vera Cruz amethyst, so they're no longer mining these ones. I don't know if the mine in Vera Cruz has, or the what would be the word? Well, they're no longer getting any of these, so they're a little more harder to come by. They're very beautiful, very pale, clear, small points. I use this very often on the third eye for my clients and stuff like that. This one really connects you to that higher self almost instantly. Like when you put on it, creates like a great brain wave that helps you meditate and just connect more easily. But that said, amethyst is just another very soothing stone, and it's a great one for you to start seeing how it makes you feel, how stones make you feel. The last one I would recommend in this set of 5 is Smoky Quartz. Smoky Quartz is very grounding, protective, it draws out negativity, it's comforting, and has like a very nice, comfortable vibe to it. So here's a little tumbled or polished, paler piece of Smoky Quartz. And here's a raw chunk. My dog is like licking the stones over there. Giving kisses. Okay. And as a little bonus, not that you have to get these. These are just things that I think I would recommend. I think a lot of people would recommend. But I find it very nice to also pick up, if you can, a raw or, well, it doesn't have to be raw, but a piece of your birthstone. Now, when I say birthstone, I don't go by like the months. I go by the astrological connection or recommendation stones for your sign. So I'm a Cancer, and Moonstone is one of my birthstones. This is a rainbow moonstone. It has like a pretty blue flash. I hope I can. It's kind of a hard one to find. Sometimes I find that they like hide on you. So I think that getting one of your birthstone would be great. And when I said raw, what I mean by that is, you know, your birthstone might be aquamarine, which if you want to get like a fancy piece of aquamarine jewelry, like that might be kind of, you know, like on the more expensive side. But there is raw aquamarine that's more opaque and has like a different look to it, but it's still the same stone. It has those beneficial qualities. So it would be nice for you to connect that way and see like your birthstone that way. Okay. A good thing to do with Smoky Quartz. So let's say you have your stones. You have like, you know, you picked up a couple. Maybe you got Amethyst, Rose Quartz, and a Smoky. So you went to the store, and this is what you came home with. Okay. Amethyst, Rose Quartz chunk, and a piece of raw Smoky. Again, feel on your body and see where it tells you it wants to go. But if you don't really want to do that, you just want to lay down and get comfortable and meditate, I will put this either by my feet, below my feet, by my root chakra, to like ground me, to pull the negativity out, and to keep me protected. I would probably place the rose quartz on my heart chakra. But again, test it, because maybe your throat needs it. Maybe you need to express love. Maybe your third eye needs it. Maybe you want you to see all the love in the world, and so on like that. But just like a rule of thumb, your heart chakra would be great for that, or even upper heart or thymus. And then for the little amethyst, you could put that right on your third eye, or even like kind of like above your head, like on the pillow or whatever, for your crown. You could be laying down, totally down, and have something like this like above your head on a pillow, and then stack them around. That's like gridding the body, you know. That's what I do for a lot of my clients. Stuff like that, a little more elaborate, but that's basically what it is. It's like feeling where the stone wants to go and letting it sit there and just letting that person vibe with it. Then I will go and do like Reiki and stuff. But even just sitting there, like that's what like if you went to a crystal practitioner or crystal healing practitioner or something along those lines, you would they would grid your body with stones, probably have a lot going on in the room, and then they would like just let you lie there for a little while and let like the frequencies affect you, let your body tune into what's going on. It's kind of interesting. I am a crystal practitioner. I use stones in my practice, but I find them to be very, very beneficial to recommend to people, because you don't need to be like certified in anything to see what feels good to you. So those are my recommendations. I hope that you found them useful and informative in some way, or just relaxing, because that's kind of what this is about. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for checking this out, and namaste.